up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm here to talk about WWE 13. And first of all, before I get this video out there, I just want to say, I got a day off work today, so I just figured that I'll make a video, and I guess I'm not as relevant as I used to be, and I don't make videos like I used to, but, I make a video every here and there. And I know there's some people out there on YouTube who still want to see my videos and still want to hear my opinion and obviously respect my opinion. So this is why I still every now and again bring a video to you. So with that being said, oh, and the fact that I want to keep away from the drama. That's why I'm not so relevant so much. Or I'm not trying to be relevant again because there was a lot of drama in the past. But anyways, I'm here to talk about WWE 13. WWE 13 so far looks to be a good game. Obviously, I'm most impressed with what they're going to do for the online features. For example, like the online play seems to look a lot better by the looks of things from what I've seen. Hopefully there won't be any more glitching, and hopefully they'll patch things like that up. Like, for example, on WWE 12 you have the barricade glitch where they freeze you against the barricade glitch, and another one would be if you turn create content on, there's actually a glitch where they could do like this certain taunt that would make them go underneath the ring, and then they would get an automatic win, which I think is complete bullshit. Of course, if you're on a roll and you have a good record and then it gets taken away from you from some bitch who can't even play the game because he wants to do some fucking glitch. But that's okay. Another thing I'm most impressed with would be the DLC. The DLC came to a surprise to me because you got guys in there like Damien Sandow, you got Antonio Cesaro, you got Ryback, you got Tensai, you got the Usos, you got all these awesome DLC characters, that you've always wanted to play as for a while. Some of them, and then of course I think the biggest surprise to me was to see Damien Sandow in there, because I don't even know how the fuck he made the game. Now, not the fact that he's, awesome as it is. I mean, he's got a great character, he's a good wrestler, and he looks to be a very, big talent in the future, no doubt. And of course, Triple H is in favour of him, I guess because he sees a bit of Hunter Hearst Helmsley, And that's a tag team I'm actually going to put together, Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Damien Sandow, only because, the characters are similar, except for Sandow, would be a lot smarter, no doubt. But, yeah, I'm surprised Sandow made the game because, Sandow is, a new person in WWE, and round about the time, the game was getting made, he managed to make the roster. Not the roster, sorry, he managed to make the DLC, which is a surprise because usually they would, in most wrestling games, they would wait to the next game to put someone that new in a game, basically. They wouldn't put him in the upcoming game, they'd put him in the following one after that, because it would be a bit too early, and we would learn to accept the fact that obviously Sandow can't be in the game because Sandow wasn't around when the time, the game was being made. So I think they've really, did a lot of good work on pleasing us fans and listening to us fans and hearing our opinions and giving us, certain wrestlers that we want in the game. For example, someone like Unico, who I know there's a lot of people out there who's fans of Unico. I love Unico, he's awesome. And a lot of people would probably think he wouldn't be in the game because he's a quote-unquote jobber, even though we know he could at least be a good mid-carder. Another person who's in the game would probably be Cesaro. Like I said, he's not a jobber, by the way. I'm not about to say that. I'm about to say he's also another guy who is obviously new, and surprisingly he made the roster, or the DLC, I should say. I keep saying roster, forgive me. But it's still part of the roster though, right? Another person would be Tensai. He managed to get into the game through DLC. And then the only exception I could think just about would be Ryback. So, I mean, and I'm so happy he's in the game, believe me. And yeah, they've really did a good job on the DLC, this year. I look forward to downloading all those characters. Obviously, I'm going to get the fan access pack, and you get all of them for free with one payment, etc., etc. Another thing I'm going to brush up on is the Attitude Era mode. I'm sure everybody's in favour of that. Us fans from the 90s, like myself, I'm 20 years old. I grew up watching the Attitude Era. I loved the Attitude Era. My favourite wrestler back then, hands down, was The Rock. Before that was a guy, Razor Ramon, as you know, Scott Hall. I had many favourites back in the Attitude Era, but I remember one man and one man only who, for me, stood out the most and was part of my childhood, who I thought was the absolute shit, and that was Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Same again. the people's champ, the eyebrow raising, trailblazing, whatever, put a foot on the gas. I don't know the saying, but you know what I'm talking about. That guy is, in my opinion, the best person at cutting promos, hands down, in the history of WWE. And all round, I think he was the best, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Some people would say Austin, some people would say Chris Jericho, Bret Hart, Edge, all these different names. So many people, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, are shoo-in to be the best. For me, it would always be The Rock. He had good in-ring ability. He had the best microphone skills, in my opinion. Obviously, he had the size, the look, and obviously his career from wrestling has helped him get into movies, and out of all the other wrestlers, he has broke barriers that has not been seen, where he's became somewhat of, say, like a Hollywood actor, and he's a very popular man now, not just in the world of wrestling, but in the world in general. The Rock is a very powerful public figure, so in that, or on that note, that would be another reason to why I think he's the best, because, and why he was the best promo cutter, because any other wrestler who's gone on to try to do films has not been successful like The Rock. So The Rock really stands out, you know, in my opinion, as like his personality was that great that obviously he could go on and do a lot of things. But enough of The Rock though. Back to the game. The Attitude Era mode, that looks to be really good. All different pathways. Think of like Triple H, Mankind, Rock, Austin. I don't really know who's in the game. I haven't really looked too much into it, like as far as like pathways go. You know, like Road to WrestleManias, just like on WWE 12. But what I do know is the Attitude Era superstars, wrestlers, whatever you want to call them, because I know so many people don't want to call them superstars and call them wrestlers. Just the fact that they have a lot of them in the game for half the roster is going to please so many fans, some old school fans, some new fans, to educate them about the old school wrestlers, and the fact that you can mix it up between obviously the Attitude Era and present day, so you could put together dream card matches, like the ones that you've always wanted to do, without having to have created content on and to create the superstars that are not in the game. You have majority of them in the game. There are still some missing, like the Dudleys and the Hardy Boys and many other people, but you know, that's either here or there. But you know, for what it is, they've got pretty much a lot of key people from the Attitude Era, and I think that's all what counts. They have the arenas. I know No Mercy's missing from there. There's reasons for that. I think it's due to the Chris Benoit incident and some other people who's like maybe Eddie Guerrero was on a pay-per-view that included No Mercy. I don't remember why they don't have No Mercy in the game, but it's something linked to wrestlers' deaths. That's all I know. And I'm thinking it could be the Chris Benoit incident. But you know, the game looks great overall. I want to know what you guys think. I don't want to drag this video out too much longer. I've spoke so much, and I know so many people would only take so much of what you have to say. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you very much. I want to know your opinions, your thoughts. Give me your comments, same as on what you think of this game. Do you think it's going to be the better game out of all the games that's came out in a long time, or do you think it's just going to be the same old shit with just a few added features, or do you actually think this game's going to be something that stands out and sets wrestling games off to a whole different level in a good way? So let me know what you think. Do a video response. I'd appreciate it. Rate this video basically, and recommend it, favorite it, all that good stuff. And this is all I gotta say. Peace.